Namaste, welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. Find a seat that is comfortable and try to settle your base onto the support you have. And also rest your hands, sit nice and tall so the heart is open. And if you have any devices close by, other than the computer or the laptop or whatever it is that you're using, of course, to take the class, try to move them a little bit away so your mind is not like drawn to whatever is happening there, okay? Just for this hour for you. So as you rest your hands and you sit nice and tall, close the eyes and give yourself a moment to get quiet and still. With your next breathing cycles, draw the outer into the inner. Relax the skull, soften the brain, and especially see if you can relax behind the eyes, moving them gently down and in. Allow yourself to remain there in the inner space. And noticing whatever is happening right now. Perhaps there are physical sensations. Maybe there's a thought. Instead of denying those or looking away from those distractions, give yourself a moment to acknowledge them and then return to the inner space. We want to have complete acceptance of whatever our experience is in the moment. Being generous, being kind with yourself as you acknowledge any thoughts, perhaps lots of sensations, things that are happening in the moment. We remember that all those things come and go. Completely staying in the moment as it is. Then see if you can release deeper into that inner space, returning so fully to your inner light that you touch your true self. That center becomes completely free of thought, sensation, free from any type of suffering, returning to that place in a whole way that we can find in that place protection, safety, ease. When we get to tap into our true light, our center, we find steadiness and we become free from misunderstandings, confusion, connecting with the divine light within. So at any time when we feel challenged, when we feel that we don't know where to go, there is this space we can return to where we are safe and we are unaffected by the temporary things in our lives. Let's bring our palms together and let them rest right in front of your heart. And with the heart gently lifting into your thumbs, invite that center, that light, that space to expand and to tell you the intention you want to embody this practice with this morning. That intention rooted in light, loving kindness, compassion, and awareness is your anchor for the journey. If you choose to join me in the Om sound to open this journey, please join me inhaling deeply first. Big exhale through the mouth, then breathing in again. Relaxing the shoulders without losing the lift in your spine. Connect the head to the hands and the heart, the three together. Then we let the palms rest down again, lifting the head and opening the eyes. Welcome everyone, thank you again for being here. Let's go onto our mats and make sure that you have a belt with you to use and also a block that we'll use after, okay? So today we are going to come onto our backs first, and I have a loop that I made in my belt so I can make it like a little easier to work with. So if you have one and you can do this, set it up so you have it. I'll wait for a moment as we come onto our mat. And as we come down onto our backs, take a moment to settle on your back. I know that some of you are still getting ready. So settle on your mat, relax the shoulders, feel the sensations here in your body as you come onto a supine posture, perhaps tingling, maybe some throbbing, maybe some aches or sensitivity somewhere in your body. And some of you perhaps did some of these exercises. I'm going to add some modifications and things. So we'll go with first, taking one leg up. I'm taking the one that is closest to the camera so you can see, but I'm starting with my right. If you want to go with me, I'm going to put that loop that I have in my belt onto the heel of my right foot. And I'm going to start pushing that heel up towards the ceiling. If you have the loop like I'm doing, maybe you can hook your hand there, or you can just pull from the belt as it is, okay? Good, so I'm going to just keep the right leg pressing up towards the skies with the center of my heel pushing up towards the ceiling. And I'm going to activate the front of that leg so it's contracted. And even though I'm contracting the leg, I'm trying to not lock my knee at all. So it can feel like, if it feels like it's extremely hard, then micro bend that knee and keep pushing through the center of your heel. And then see if you can also activate the base of your big toe and pinky toes to press up. Like if you had a triangular shape in your foot, and from the center of the heel to the big toe mount to the pinky, you are pushing through those 3 points, okay? So we inhale here, and we exhale. And one more breath. Good. Option to extend your opposite leg if you want to the top of the mat. If you want to keep it bent, it's all good. Now I'm going to change the hand that is holding the belts. So instead of holding with my right hand, I'm going to hold with my left hand. And I'm going to keep pressing through the center of the heel plus the base of my two big and pinky toes. And with my right hand, I'm going to not exactly put my thumb on the crease of my hip, but use the base of my palm onto the top of my thigh to press it down towards the left foot. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, but I'm using the base of my palm into the thigh, and I'm kind of like opening it a little bit out and towards the end of my mat. Okay, so that's what I'm doing, just creating a little bit more opening into that right side. Inhaling, exhaling. One more breath. Good, and then I'm going to bend that knee, take that belt out, extend the right leg, take a deep breath in, and then one breath out to notice the sensation in that first leg that we are working. Then we'll go to the second side. I'm going to place the belt as far to the heel as I can, and first with my left hand, I'm going to just hold that belt so I can press the heel, the center of the heel, up towards the ceiling. Plus, I'm adding the base of my big toe and pinky so that those 3 points pushing up. If you activate those 3 points, your arch in that foot will be more active as well, and will also ignite a lot of activation in the organs and muscles and ligaments in the leg, okay? And we are moving those the blood into the pelvis. So now again, like I said before, I want that front knee to not be locked, but it's contracted. So if you need to keep that knee micro bending, that's all good. We keep that for another breath. My right leg is extending. I'm pressing through the heel towards the end of my mat. And now I'm going to change the hand. With my right hand, I'm holding the belt, so I can use my left hand into the top of my left thigh and push it down towards the end of my mat. Take a couple of breaths here. Feel that sensation of opening a little bit more space, right, between your thigh and your pelvis. And many times we get this adjustment when we are in class and the teacher comes like me and does that action. So this is a good way also to learn how to do your own adjustment, so you feel good like we feel when we are adjusted or supported with the teacher coming to us. So another breath. Good, and then we slowly bend the knee, we take the belt out, extend that leg, take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Good, and now I'm going to use the belt again, but before I use it again, I'm going to add a twist. So now I'm going to start with my left knee into the chest, and then I'm going to shift my hips a little so I can bring that knee over to the right, okay? Now what I'm going to do here is, with the right hand, I'm going to go again into the top of that left thigh like I did before, but this time I'm crossing hand to hip, and I'm going to push that thigh again away from my body. You see how I'm like pressing and pushing that hip towards the end of my mat? So I'm going to do that as I send my left arm up and overhead, and you'll feel more of that stretch onto the left side of your body, okay? So I'm pushing my left thigh down towards the end of the mat, and I'm extending the left arm overhead. Take a deep breath here, and exhale. One more breath. Good, and then slowly returning. We are going to extend the left leg. I'm shifting a little so I have space to twist. And now I'm going to bring right knee to the chest. Then I'm going to send it over to the left side, as you can see. And then with my left hand, I'm pressing that right thigh almost at the top of the hip, and I'm pushing it down towards the end of my mat. Once I have a grip of that with the base of my palm, I'm pushing there. I'm going to send my right arm up overhead and feel that stretch on the right side. For one more breath. Good, and then slowly returning to center. Recenter your pelvis, catch your belt again. And this time I'm going to use my loop one more time, but I'm going to place both heels onto that belt, and I'm going to use that extra space in my loop so I can hold the belt and push through both heels into the ceiling, okay? So heels, center of the heels are pressing up, and also the base of my big and pinky toes pushing up. Again, that triangular shape in the feet. My feet are hip distance apart, and I'm pushing, pushing, pushing up, and I'm trying to ground my sacrum and the pelvis onto the floor. So don't lift your butt, right? I'm exaggerating, but you don't want to do that. You want the legs to be perpendicular to the floor, and you want the sacrum or the coccyx to feel like it's expanding onto the mat, okay? Deep breath in here, deep breath out. Keep activating through those 3 points in your feet. Good, and now I'm going to use the long side of my belt, so the tail, I'm going to adjust it a little, so I'm making it a little bit more taut into my feet so it stays there. And I'm going to slide my hands all the way over my head, and you see like I'm creating like a triangular shape between the belt and my body. That's what I want to do. I'm holding the belt all the way over my head. I'm trying to extend my arms over the head again, and really activate inner and outer arms here. So they are really pulling up over the head as I push through the heels and the base of my toes. Okay, again, we want the abdomen to move down into the earth and expand the back of your pelvis as you breathe. Try to keep your breath fluid, easy, even, and rested. Good. Add one last breath here. Extend through the arms. Then slowly bend the knees. Take that belt out to the side and extend the legs. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Good. Now from here, before we roll, we are going to put the soles of the feet together and the knees wide. I want you to press through the center of your heels into one another, so the soles of the feet are together, the center of the heels are pressing into each other, and from there we are going to inhale the arms up overhead, lace the fingers, turn your palms and press them up and away from your head, and feel the stretch in the sides of your trunk, through the inner and outer arms again, push through the base of your palms so the wrists are stretching as well, and take a deep breath in. Exhale. Last one here. Inhaling, press the center of the heels into one another, and exhale, release the arms, bring the knees towards each other, roll over to the side, and then we come up, and we will take the tabletop, hands and knees. Keep a block close by. We are going to use it in a little bit. Good. From here, we'll go into hands and knees. I'm going to spin my fingers or pivot them a little bit out towards the long sides of my mat, just a little, to have a better support through the base of my thumbs. And my knees are under my hips. From here, we are going to take the cat-cow, inhaling, opening the spine through the front. Exhaling, belly lifts, rounding chin to chest. And again, inhale, opening up the front, sending the shoulders back, lifting the heart. Exhaling, navel lifts up, chin towards the heart. One more, inhaling, and exhale. Good, we come back to the neutral. We move the knees a few inches behind the hips. Widen your feet so they come towards the edges of your mat. Tuck your toes. And we are going to keep the knees bent for these first few versions of the down dog, okay? So I'm going to keep my knees bent, push the mat away, and I'm starting to lift the shins off the mat. And I'm going to first firm my hands, push the floor away, lengthen the spine and the sides of your trunk, and bring the chest towards your thighs. My knees, as you can see, they are bent, okay? So I'm letting my chest come towards the legs. I'm activating my inner arm bones as much as I can, and I'm letting the neck and the head drop, okay? And in this shape, one full breath I'm going to take here to feel the action of the arms first, and then I'm going to pedal my feet a few times. I'm still not bringing both my legs down. Just pedal your feet here a couple of times. Good. And then from here, I'm going to play with both legs at the same time, trying to lengthen both heels towards the end of the mat. And then I'm going to rebend both knees and bring the chest towards the thighs. And again, extend the legs towards the end of the mat and rebend both knees. Last one, we send the inner heels back and down. And now in this one that we are there, we are going to try and again activate those 3 points in the feet, center of the heels, base of the big toes and pinky. Then I'm going to draw the pelvic floor up, bring my floating ribs down towards my hips and keep pushing the floor away. Let the head be heavy, like if the contents of your brain are dropping to the floor, and the neck be long, long, long. Breathing here. Good, then we are going to walk the hands back towards the feet. And once you get there, bring the feet so they are parallel to each other, hip distance apart. Good, and from here, relax the neck and the head, bend the knees. Take a moment here, you can shift the hips from side to side. You can also say no and yes with your head to create more space in the neck. Good. Now again, we are going to activate the center of the heels and the base of the toes. Put your hands onto your hips. Roll the shoulders back. Use those 3 points in each foot to press down and ground and lengthen the spine. And slowly come up to standing. Good. Okay, deep inhale here. And exhale. Good. From here, we are going to inhale, arms up overhead. Bend your knees if you need. We exhale and we fold. Inhaling halfway, we lengthen. Exhaling, we fold. Inhaling, pressing through the feet, we come all the way up. Exhaling to center and we release the arms. One more like that. Inhaling. Connection between breath and movement. Exhale, flowing down. In breath to open up, lengthen and lift the heart. Exhaling, we fold. Pressing through the feet, we come all the way up. And we exhale to center and release. Nice, good. From here, I'm going to face you so we go together. I'm going to then come a little closer. Okay, so now, here what we are going to do is, I'm going to mirror you guys. We are going to bend our knees a little, and your hands can stay on your knees, okay? This is part one. Now, I'm going to send my left for you. It's your left, okay? So left knee is going to come behind your right calf. So I'm going to show you like here, right? I'm setting my knee right behind the other shin, okay? So that's what I'm doing. Good. And from here, my hands are on top of the front thigh, and I'm going to sit a little lower, like coming to a chair pose. My back heel is not flat, right? It's lifted. So I'm there with the back heel lifted. I'm drawing my belly in. I'm creating a little bit of rounding, like the cat pose. So I'm pushing my hands into my thighs, I'm rounding there, and now I'm going to take left arm outside the right leg. I'm going to hook the elbow there and try to bring the palms towards each other. Nice. Good. Now from there, draw the belly in. It's more of a rounded shape here, and then push the palms into one another so you can twist the belly and the chest towards your right. Good. Send the shoulders back, belly and chest up. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out, and then slowly return to center, lift up and shake it. Woo! Awesome. Okay, second side. Now again, I'm starting from the feet parallel to each other. I'm bending my knees. I'm putting my hands onto my thighs, let's say. Okay, and now I'm going with the second side. Right knee will come behind your left shin. Good. Now from there, I'm making sure that my back heel is lifted, and I'm going to lean a little back. Okay, so it's like coming to the chair. Beautiful. Now I'm going to draw the belly in so it's more rounded, the shape, so I get more space to twist. Okay, I'm there, I'm rounding through the abdomen, lifting up. Now I'm going to bring right elbow over the left knee, and I'm trying to pass if I can, and then I'm going to put my hands towards each other, so pressing the palms, and I'm going to push the left hand onto the right one so I can twist a little bit more towards the left. Draw that navel in, shoulders back, and we are twisting to the left. Take a breath in and out. One more. Then slowly return. Good, lift up, shake it a little. Yay, we're going to come back later to the shape with a little difference, okay? Back here onto our mat. Come to the back of your mat. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhaling, we fold. Inhaling halfway. And with the exhale, fold, walk back to downward facing dog. Good, down dog here, pressing through the hands, lengthening through the sides. Bring the lower ribs in and the pelvic floor up. Push the mat away, relax the head. Good, from here, we inhale, we come to plank pose. And we exhale to go back. Again, we will repeat this. Draw the navel up, inhaling plank. Lengthen through the crown of the head, push your heels back, lift the inner thighs, back to down dog. Good, and again, inhaling plank. Stay there, push through the heels, draw the abdomen up, exhale down dog. Good, last one, inhaling plank. Draw everything up. If you're ready to come down to your mat. Good, use your knees if you need first. We are going to bring the fingertips outside the mat. Roll the shoulders back, extend through the legs. Bring the sacrum in, inhale, lift to the cobra. Exhale, release. Hands under the shoulders, shoulders back, tuck your toes. We go back up, downward facing dog. Deep breath in and out. Good. Bring your feet towards each other at the back of your mat. Push the mat away again. Tone through the inner arms. Inhale, right leg goes up. Exhale, bring the right knee towards the chest into the plank. Push up with your hands. Bring that right knee to the left, then back to the right. Send it back up. Inhale. Exhale, right foot forward, left knee comes down. Ah, yay! You will need a block for this one, so catch a block, okay? Good, we are coming up into the crescent lunge, and I'm going to set my block in the tall setting right outside the left side of my mat. So it's right off my mat to the left, okay? Good, I'm going to leave it there for now. Inhaling, arms up overhead, Hook your thumbs, extend through the sides, and remember what we did with the hand in the beginning, that we were pressing the thigh away. So I want you to do that with your right hip. So as we extend through the arms, send the right hip down towards the floor, towards the foot that you have behind. Okay, left foot. Lengthen through the sides. Exhale and release. Good. Now my left hand is gonna go into the block that is tall on the left, right? And it's right outside my mat. And with my right hand, I'm going to do what I did before. I'm going to put it there in the outer side of my right hip and thigh, and I'm going to push it down. So we keep that, we roll the shoulders back, and we twist to the right. Good. Notice how the right knee may go out to the side. See if you can bring it into the center again, and keep pushing that right hip down. Good. Now we are going to send the right arm up. Inhale, just up. And with the exhale, send it back behind you. Beautiful. Now I'm trying to really open that right side of my chest towards the back of the room. And I'm leaning back a little. This is it. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more breath. Good, then I send my right arm up to the ceiling, bring it back down, and we go to downward facing dog. Good, take a deep breath in and release. We'll go to the second side. Inhaling, left leg goes up and back. Good, bring that left knee to the chest, plank pose. Push through the palms, lift that knee, send it to the right, then back to the left. Send the left leg up and back, left foot forward, right knee comes down, and I'm putting now my block right off the mat on my right side, okay? And I'm coming up. Good, inhaling, arms up overhead, hook the thumbs again, lengthen through the sides, and remember, now we want the left hip, you cannot see it, it's on the back, but that left hip, I want it to move down and back. That's what I'm doing without using my hand. Extend through the sides, open through the chest. Ignite that light that is in your center and expand it. Good, then we release that. My right hand is going to the tall block on the side of my mat. Good, and with my left hand, I'm going into the top of my left side and I'm pushing it back and down. My knee will want to go out, so I'm going to try and keep it to the midline. And I'm pushing, pushing, pushing that hip. Then I'm going to roll the shoulders back, send my left arm up, bring the belly and the chest to the left, and then send that left arm back towards the back of your room. Good. From there, see if you can lean back a little. Extend that left arm back, lean back. Keep sending your left hip towards the right foot. Good. Inhale, come back. Bring that left hand down, right hand down. Back to down dog. There we go. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Good. Inhaling, we come to plank. Exhaling, we come all the way down. This time I'm going to lace my fingers behind the lower back. If that is not happening in your body, take your belt and catch your belt, okay? You can open the belt and have more space. From here, I'm going to extend through the legs, roll the shoulders, extend the arms. Good. When you're ready, navel in, sacrum in, lift. Locust pose. Then release, tuck your toes, tabletop first, and then up we go, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, deep breath out. We'll take one more sequence and then we'll rest. Take another deep breath in and exhale. Good, from here, inhale your right leg up and back. Bring your right knee to the chest, into the plank pose, same as before. Draw the navel up, push the mat, knee to the left, come back to neutral, right leg up and back, right foot forward. This time I'm keeping my left knee off the mat, and again I'm going to put my block right off my mat on the left, on the tall side, same thing. Good. From here, we are going to add a little bit more. Right hand, again onto the right hip and thigh, and I'm going to push it down. You see how instead of letting it be lifted, I'm pushing it down and back towards the back of my mat. So I'm doing that, and usually when I do that, my back leg tends to drop. So see if you can tone that back leg as you keep sending that right thigh back. Good. And now I'm going to extend right arm up, and instead of sending it back, I'm going to send it up and over my head like a side angle pose. So extend through that arm, send the left shoulder back, and open that right side from your right fingertips all the way down to your right hip. One more breath. Good. Now coming back, look at what I'm going to do now. So now what I'm going to do is straighten my front leg and send the right arm back. And then I'm going to bend and come back to the first shape. And again, I'm going to extend, send the right arm back, send that right hip back, and then bend the knee, open that right arm over the head. One more. Straighten the front leg, send the right hip back, and back up. Good. Let's bring those hands down to the mat, back to down dog. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Good. Last side. Inhale, left leg up and back. Left knee to the chest, plank pose. Draw the abdomen in, send the left knee to the right. Back to center. Back up with that left leg. Left foot forward. This time I'm keeping my back knee off the mat, and I'm going to move that block to the right side, tall, right off the mat. Okay? Good. Now from here, I'm going to put my left hand onto my left hip and thigh, and I'm going to send them back. Right side tone, so I'm not letting the leg drop. I'm toning that leg without locking my knee. Open up through the chest. Lean back. Send the left arm up and over the head like the side angle pose. And breathe here, opening the chest. Keep sending the left hip back to towards your right heel. Good. Now from there we add the straightening of the front leg. So I'm going to straighten the front leg, send the arm back, and then return to the bent knee. Two more like that. Keep the left hip moving back at all times. Back. One more. Push through the front big toe. Coming back. Good. Release the hands. Back to down dog. Good. And then bring the knees down. Let's take a child's pose. A full minute here to recover. I'm timing, so come to your child's pose to find balance again and steadiness in your breath. Softening through the face. Releasing. Noticing whatever is arising in this moment. Take a few breaths here. Still a few seconds to go. Remember, you can find comfort and protection going into the space of your true self. Recognizing that when we are there, there's no confusion, there's no misunderstanding, and all of the thoughts, the emotions, the sensations are temporary. One more full breath. Good, and then we slowly come up into a seat just for a moment. Tuck your toes and spreading the toes just a little bit. Sit on your heels for just 2 breaths. Try to ground through the base of your toes. Good, and then we slowly undo that, coming back to the hands and the knees, and we go from there one more time up to downward facing dog. Good, lengthen through the sides, relax the neck and the head, pelvic floor lifts up, draw the ribs in. Good, this time we are I'm going to start on the left leg goes up and back. Bend that left knee, opening the knee towards the right side. Send the sacrum into your body, right ribs in, level your shoulders, push that right leg back. Option here to keep going over and take a back bend, lifting through the sacrum, the pelvis, and the chest. You can stay where you are, opening the hips, and then slowly returning, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out, and we'll go with the second side. Right leg goes up and back, bend the right knee, open that knee towards the left, level the shoulders, draw the abdomen in, left ribs in, send that right knee as much as you can over to the left. Option to add the leg coming over, flipping, going up. Take a deep breath in. Then slowly returning back to down dog. And then slowly bringing the legs down, coming back onto a seat. Beautiful. Okay, from here, we are going to sit on our mat and we are going to open the legs into what we call Upavishta Konasana, or the wide leg sit. Okay, good. Once you come there, you go at the ability that you have to open your legs without starting to round your back a lot, okay? So you want to open the legs perhaps to 80% so you have the ability to stay tall. And for this one, you may want to have your blocks or support close by so we can use it. First, we are going to make sure that the knees are pointing up towards the ceiling and that we are pressing through the center of the heels out towards the sides, okay? Now see if you can ground the sacrum into the earth and the sitting bones, and the back side of your thighs, see if you can send it down towards the floor or your mat. We are going to try and keep that as much as we can, and then we are going to slowly walk ourselves towards perhaps a support, maybe 2. So you can put your forearms maybe there, or perhaps you prefer to put your head or something to hold you, okay? So like I said, either forehead, or if you prefer to just have there your forearms, try to keep the chest wide, keep pressing through the center of your heels, and make the back side of your thighs ground into the earth, okay? We stay here for 5 breaths. Long, steady, even breathing. Try and make that breath fluid. One last cycle. Good, and then we slowly come back towards the seat. Beautiful. Let's bring those knees gently back into the body. And now we are going to come onto our mats again. I'm going to keep a block so I can use it for the next shape. Coming onto my back, I'm going to use the tallest setting of my block so I create a little bit of a deeper back bend, but you can use the flat, you can use the middle or the tallest, okay? Now, for this one, I want us to use the length of the block like this, okay? So it will be, if you are in the tallest, you're going to be setting your sacrum on top of that short side. If you are going to the middle setting, it's going to be on the long side like this. And if you are on the flat, it's going to be on top of this, okay? So, keeping that, I'm going to press onto my feet, I'm going to lift my pelvis, and I'm going to set my sacrum or coccyx, the very end of my spine, into that block, okay? Once I have my setting for me, I'm going to extend my arms towards the feet. I'm going to open through the chest, tucking my shoulder blades behind the heart, so we create more expansion and opening into the heart center. And then from there, you can hold your mat if you want, or you can just extend the arms and place the palms down. I want you to ground through the center of your heels, and I want you to also try and feel the base of your big toes pushing into your mat, okay? So we stay in this one. And if you want to add a little bit of an extra back bend to this, your lower back should be okay without any pain or things going on. Send that sacrum in a little bit more, firm your hips into the midline, and with that, activating your glutes, extend the legs one at a time towards the top of your mat. This may be a little bit more intense, so if you want to check it, check it. If it feels like it's too much, bend your knees again. And from here again, I'm activating my glutes, sacrum in, opening the chest. One more breath. And then slowly bending the knees if they were not. Returning first to that bridge supported shape. Good. Then from there, I'm going to lift the pelvis, take the block out to the side, and slowly return with my whole trunk down onto the mat. Take a breath here before we do anything else. Good. And then you're going to bring both your knees to the chest and make the soles of the feet touch, like when you're sitting and you're putting your soles of the feet together, but this time we are supine. And I'm going to hold my feet, if I can, and bring them towards me as I let my knees go to the sides. And with this action, I'm going to again press my heels towards one another at the center and ground the pelvis and feel the sacrum releasing onto the floor. So here we are reopening the lower back, lumbars, the back of the pelvis, the kidneys. So give yourself a moment to drop the contents of your belly and pelvis down into earth. Softening the skin in the face, relaxing the jaws and the tongue. Invite the eyeballs to recede and move away from the eyelids. Good, and then slowly return with the knees into the chest and rock a little bit from side to side. Good, before we take our blocks again, bring both knees towards the right, opening the arms to a cactus shape or T-letter, the one that feels comfortable and the one that makes, that fits in your space. Relax the shoulders and the chest. And if you want, you bring your chin towards the left. 2 breaths here. Then slowly making it back to the center. Reset the pelvis if you need. Bring the knees to the chest and switch the legs to the other side. Again, relaxing the shoulders, chin to the right. Give yourself a moment here. Good, then slowly back to center. Good, we'll take that block one last time for legs up. If you have a wall that you can use at home and you want to use it, you're more than welcome. It's a really nice way to even end the practice if you want to stay there. I'm going to show with the block or anything that you have that resembles a block. Any height that feels appropriate for you, I'm going to go to the lowest and I'm going to put it again under the pelvis, setting my sacrum to be supported there. Again, I'm going to move my shoulders away from the neck, opening the chest, tucking my shoulder blades in, and then slowly I'm coming towards the vertical legs, trying to keep the legs active, pushing through the heels again, and then the base of the toes. So those 3 points, they are always active to create more opening and activation in the organs, the inner legs that is connected to your psoas muscle, which goes into your lower back, the kidneys. And here we'll take a minute. I'll tell you when to come down from it. Releasing the back of the skull into your mat. Relaxing the face. Feel the expansion in your lungs as you keep the shoulders away from your ears. Try to soften the space in your throat. This shape, the legs up the wall or Viparita Karani that we call it, the more we practice it, usually it's done at the end of the journey, and it's a cooling inversion, and it has a lot of benefits in our bodies, our minds. And the more we practice it, the more we are able to stay a little longer each time, right? So it's, if you feel like you are, you become anxious or you want to get out, of course, you release it when you need to release it, but perhaps you can play with giving yourself one extra breath from that moment that you feel you need to get out. So you keep building up very gently and gradually into being able to stay a little longer. And that's also the way that we learn how to create a stable shoulder stand when we go into that shape. This is the modification of that posture, okay? So one more breath here. I'm talking on purpose, so I keep you a little longer. And then slowly bend the knees, bring the feet down to your mat. Good. Take the belt out as you press through your, take the block out as you press through your feet and you lift the pelvis so you can remove the prop and return to your mat. Good. Take any of the things that you have with you at home for practice to support the last shape, corpse pose, coming into Shavasana. So perhaps a pillow or two pillows under your thighs or your knees. Maybe you need to add some movement before releasing your whole body into the last posture. When you're there, give yourself the chance and the gift of surrendering. We gave it our all through this practice, like we do in life. And then we can let go, releasing the body, releasing the mind, coming back to the eternal self. In Shavasana, we practice acceptance of death and surrendering gracefully.